Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, this is going to be a little bit of a longer show, Tim. We have, looks like 12 games in the NBA. We have a full baseball slate, which games start at 1 o'clock today. Get some afternoon baseball on a Friday, which is fun, because usually we don't get that on Fridays. It's opening day, or not opening day. It's home openers for the Yankees, home opener for the Tigers, for the the Cubbies has been playing at home. For the Rockies, home opener. So we have a lot of home openers today. So we'll be getting into all of those. We got some afternoon baseball, which will be fun. But before we get into today's game, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1-1 right, 1-1 wrong in the world of sports betting. Baseball was fun yesterday. I went 2-1, did lose the Mets, but got the Pirates and the Cardinals -1. I did live bet the Mets game 2, and I live bet the Cardinals as well. So those were fun little winners there. And that's where the fun stopped, because yesterday in the NHL was a clean reverse sweep, 0-5. It was not fun. Montreal looked okay and then got blown out. Carolina. What my record when betting the Carolina Hurricanes is like 0-147. Like, they, for whatever reason, I put a cent on the Carolina Hurricanes and they turn into San Jose Sharks. So it's interesting there. Maybe I should just bet them throughout the playoffs so they can be done in round one, and I can not hear about Caniacs for the entire playoffs. Might not be a good idea. Might not be a bad idea. And then I got hooked on the over 5.5 because Washington only scored 1 goal against Pittsburgh. All of a sudden, Washington is out of a playoff spot. So, right, they're out of a playoff spot. Yeah, they're out of a playoff spot. So maybe the magic is wearing off on the Capitals, and they're starting to come back down to reality there. Blues +150 was not good, and the Sharks kept it interesting. They got one in the third to make it 2-1, and then that was all she wrote. 2-1 final in that game. So clean 0-5 in the NHL. Absolutely embarrassing yesterday there. 2-1 in baseball. So just not a good day. It's been not a good week. It's been a little bit of a frustrating time in the NHL. Been a frustrating year in the NHL. So hoping to get back on the right foot. I've already bet 1 game in the NHL today, and that's all I've bet so far. I like to come into these shows with not much action, be able to talk out plays I'm looking at and things along those lines. So, so not a good day yesterday for me. Hopefully it tastes better.
Yeah, me personally, I had 2 plays. I had the Cardinal run line, and I had the Houston Rockets. St. Louis run line, never in doubt. Houston Rockets led for 0 seconds of a must-win game. Cool, thank you. And I had Indiana State as well, and they fell apart late. So that was also not fun. It is what it is. And then you had your 3 losers on the site. We were down 3.81 on the site. Whatever. Try to bounce back today. Big card. I'll be around for the NBA and the MLB portion of it, and then I got to go.
Fair enough. Head over to the chat, and then we'll get started with today's NBA.
Yankee money line and run line today. Stroman outmatches Kikuchi or whatever his name is. Lots of runs. Decent price at -154. That's a run line or nothing for me, but the Toronto Blue Jays are involved in that game, so that's a nothing for me. Also, no weather situations around the league to report of at the time, but please be mindful of weather conditions too from and at the game where PPE is a flood. It is flooded, turn around, don't drown. You know what? Perky's trying to be a weatherman. Interesting. They're talking back and forth. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Dad. Hope you're doing well. Let's cash. Let's do it. Did great. 9-2, including betting Blue Jackets, which I assume would lose, but at plus 165 was worth a half a unit.
Yeah.
Let's get this money. Big bags last night. One on Cole, same game parlay, 2 parlays, 2 straights, lost 1 parlay, 1 straight. The way she goes. Get it? Plus 183.15% on account balance, month 1 recurring sports betting. Very happy. There you go. In Edmonton today, I won't get to the game. I wonder if another tie plays out for the Avs and the Oilers.
I can tell you right now, I'm only looking at the Oilers in that game because of what just happened last game with the Oilers where they got beat down 5-0, and the Avalanche are in the second half of back-to-back. I think this is a great spot potentially for the Oilers. Maybe an Oilers -1 type of thing.
Let's bounce back. Let's do it, Stan. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Social appreciation, subscribe, and share. Timmy, you know the rest of the same. My dog, full NBA slate. NBA is not something I really want to be diving deep. Like I'll bet some games, but I'm not diving deep into the NBA right now just because there's 5 to 6 games left and not a lot of teams care. So it's kind of tricky to bet the NBA right now. We'll be starting in the NBA today. So we'll do NBA, try to run through these games, MLB, and then we'll let you do hockey.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there.
Let's get into it here. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're at the Indiana Pacers. Pacers 5.5-point favorites in this game. Total of 234 in this spot. This line opened up at a 4.5. It's up to a 5.5 for the Pacers. So we do have a move towards Indiana. Line opened up at a 234.5. It's down to a 234. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had a move towards the Oklahoma City, or towards the Pacers. My bad, Pacers. On this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow in this spot, we have 5,286 tickets in. 55% of the tickets are on the Pacers with the line moving a point towards them. And then 85% of the tickets are on the over with the line moving towards the under here in this game here. So kind of interesting little dynamic there. Obviously, I'm assuming there's injuries involved in this game. So I would like to know a little bit more about the injury report here from Tim. But where are you looking at for this game, Tim? I have this game priced to where there's value on OKC, but I'm assuming there's probably with this line no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're probably resting some guys and stuff like that this late into the season.
Yeah, I believe there's no SGA. That's what the line tells me. I'm not sure if there's anybody else that's not active for this game. Let me pull up the injury reports so I could figure that one out. I'm not too interested in really wanting to go after this game. As you look at it, you got the Pacers who are still fighting for where are they on the standings? They're currently sixth in the East. They're 2.5 games back of the Magic and the Knicks, and they're only a half game ahead of the Heat for that spot for a play, like to drop down to the play-ins. So it's definitely tricky to see what the Pacers are trying to do. Let's go over to Indiana. Oklahoma City. Yeah, SGA is out for this game. So keep that one in mind when you are betting this one. Oklahoma City, half game behind Denver, 1 game behind Minnesota for the top 2 teams in the top 2 seeds in the West. They are 4 games ahead of LA. LA is not going to catch anybody because they're 5 games back of first place in the West. But this is a spot. I don't think Oklahoma City really cares who they play in the first round at this point. They're going to try to rest their players, make sure everybody gets to the postseason healthy so they can possibly make a run in the playoffs. They had their play-in game last year. I think that they're ready for a big playoffs this year. So I have Oklahoma City 80-1, so we'll see how that goes. As for betting this game, I think it's OKC or nothing at plus 5.5, but I think I'm going to go with nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking too. And my question with OKC is, you said this game doesn't really matter to them, so home court advantage potentially throughout the entire playoffs doesn't matter to them?
Well, with SGA out, they're probably going to sit other people, and they're just trying to get to
SGA is actually legitimately hurt, or is he just resting?
I think he's actually out.
Okay.
A quad injury. Won't play Friday versus the Pacers.
Fair enough. I'll pass.
Yes, I know. World Warrior. Yep, Rockets didn't play. Yes, I know the Nuggets lost last night. Knickerbockers was down 22 to the Kings. Came back and won by 11. Should have jumped on that money line. There you go. Indiana minus and the over is the lean. Went 7-4 yesterday. 3 of them live bets on first 5, under 3.5 Rockies and under 5.5 in the Bruins game. There you go. All ears. There you go. I get it, Tim, and I hear you and respect what you have to say. I just love to bet on the NBA. But yes, it's that time of the year where a lot of teams don't care. So it's just trickier to find value in games to me. That's why I'm not going to be betting as much. So what's up, Nathan? Welcome. We get these two teams, Nick. Another one of those scenarios.
Yeah, and I remember last game you were talking about, I think the Magic you said are in like 4th or something like that, which kind of surprised me because if you watch or if you're on TikTok all the time and you're part of sports TikTok, I thought Orlando was the best team in the league every single time I hear Orlando Magic, because I swear it pops up on my feed like every other day. But enough of the jokes. Let's get into the line history here where the wrong game. Orlando Magic opened up at 11.5 point favorites, got down to an 11, back up to 11.5 on the road here. Line opened up at a 207. It's down to a 205.5. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had a move, and we've had no move on the side. We have 60% of the tickets are on the Hornets, and the line did dip down, but we are starting to see some 12s pop up on some books. So kind of interesting there. 96% of the tickets are on the over in this game with the line moving towards the under is kind of interesting there as well. We have I have this game priced for them to be there it is. That's why this line's messed up because I had it flipped around there. I had this game priced at a 9, so I think that this line maybe is a little wide. Do I want to trust the Charlotte Hornets? That's a big fat hell no. This has been a series that OKC has won 4, or okay, I keep saying that Orlando has won 4 in a row in this series. The Hornets are covering as big dogs as of late. They've covered in 3 of the last 5 games, where they were 18, 14, and 9.5 point dogs. So they are a team that maybe you could trust a little bit as home dogs in this spot. But am I looking to get involved in this game? Not particularly. This is another simple pass here in this game. I think there's some spots I'm looking at. This is just not one of them.
Yeah, it's Hornets or nothing, obviously. But I mean, it's the Orlando Magic. They've been covering for us all year. I believe they are the most profitable team in the NBA, 49-27 on the spread this year. And yeah, they're currently 4th place in the West, in the East, tied with the Knicks. Which in a matchup between the Magic and the Knicks, I really like the Magic's odds of winning that series. And I look at this one. I'm only betting sides in the NBA. I'm not really, my totals haven't been there this year, so I really don't want to be diving deep into totals.
I look forward to playoff unders. I do look forward to playoff unders.
I could definitely see playoff unders. But it'd be Hornets or nothing for me in this one, Nick. And I'm gonna opt with the nothing. Zilch.
Sure. Fair enough.
Back to the chat. Supness from the Morning Jesus Juice. Okay then. I believe Houston is eliminated now. I believe you are wrong. They're not quite eliminated yet.
It's a formality at this point, but yeah.
Yeah. SGA is out, I believe he is. Is that time of the year? Sounds like a Christmas jingle. Yeah. Who's on TikTok all the time? I'm on BL. Okay. No. And the Earle and the Higgs show. So you're on dating apps and the Higgs show and our show. Got it. Done playing NBA till playoffs. Cashed my Mavs division ticket for
Hell yeah.
Did they win the division?
I think so.
They're only one game ahead of New Orleans. So 100% it could blow here. You cashed out of it. Got it. The Nuggets was the stupidest pick I made in a long time. The books twisted me up on that. There's a reason I didn't bet it last night, but it is what it is.
I think Tim froze there. Yeah. So we have the Washington Wizards and the Portland Trailblazers. The Wizards 2-point favorites in this game. Total of 221.5 in this spot. We'll take Tim out here for a second when he figures out his frozen computer there. Line open up. I'm seeing 2.5 on Bet Online. It's a 2.5 still. Line opened up at a 220.5. It's up to a 223.5. So we've had a move towards the over, and we've had a move towards. We've had no move on the side. We've had a slight 3-cent move towards the Portland Trailblazers in this game. And let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot here, where we have 54% of tickets are on the Wizards, with the line moving slightly towards the Blazers, and we have 89% of tickets though on the money line for these Wizards. So we have, looks like the public on the money line here more for the Wizards in this spot, and the line moving slightly towards the Blazers. We cashed with the Blazers the other night. I have this game around a 1, so I see maybe a little bit of value here with the Portland Trailblazers. This is 100% a 1-800 gambler game. Let's take a look. I want to see what the best available number is. Can I get a 2.5 with the Blazers here? I can on most of my books. I'm kind of interested in the plus 2.5 here. With the Portland Trailblazers, I just don't know if Washington should be laying this type of number. And the line's moving slightly towards them. I'm gonna probably look a little bit deeper into this game. I am interested in the plus 2.5. I'm kind of interested in this plus 110, plus 115 range with the Portland Trailblazers in this spot. We cashed with them last game against the Hornets. They did snap a big losing streak, so maybe this is now when they could potentially go on a winning streak in this spot. I can only look Blazers in this game. Tim, beautiful matchup in this game. Where are you looking?
1-800 gambler. These are two teams that are combined, let's see, 35 and 118. No, I have zero interest in this game. None. Zilch nada. Not even going to try to find a play in this game. Just no point in me doing that.
I'm gonna move on this plus 2.5.
Okay, you do that.
And the money line.
Weather alert. Serious though. There's been a 5.2 magnitude earthquake in NYC/New Jersey area. Games should be impacted. Holy shit! What a time to be a weatherman. Perky, I don't think you're a weatherman, but that is definitely. I got a text from mom about that. So,
oh shit,
that's crazy. Pass on the Charlotte game. I cashed out of the ticket. Got it. Yeah, I know. Say word. Nick, you said trust the Hornets, and then Tim said weed might be legal in the Kakalakis. I trust my 10-legger before I'll trust the Hornets. Weed is not legal in the Kakalakis. Tim, I know about the Warriors winning, and yes, I know about Denver losing. Yeah, I know too. Oh, wow, I do like this bum fight, actually, Wizards. No. Wizards favored by points. Enough said. Portland. There you go. Mets are going to choke today. Mets don't. Reds score. Mets don't.
I'm not a huge fan of the Mets today because they played a doubleheader yesterday. That's kind of what worries me about the Mets today more than anything else is they just went through their entire bullpen yesterday. So that's exactly what really worries me.
That's exactly why I'll be on Oakland today. Rod 6, hush your mouth. This isn't a bum fight. It's a marquee matchup. Somehow fall asleep sitting up on my bed last night. Woke up when I felt my knees smash the ground hard. Jeez.
Ouch.
Yes. Cardinals today. Yes, Cardinals. Whoa. You have a mom with this. Okay. We'll keep moving on because we gotta start running through the games.
Yeah, we have the Sacramento Kings and the Boston Celtics. Celtics 10-point favorites in this game, total 225.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where this game opened up with the Celtics as 9.5-point favorites. It's up to a 10, and it's actually just went back down to a 9.5 on Bet Online. Just like 2 minutes ago. Line opened up at a 226.5. It's down to a 226. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had no move on the side. We have 49% of the tickets and 50% of the cash is on the Celtics spread, 4,800 tickets in. And we have 96% of the tickets on the over in this game as well. I have this game priced for the Celtics should be around 11.5-point favorites in this game. So it's a slight lean towards the Celtics, who are an amazing 33-3 at home this year, and the entire playoffs are going to run through Boston, which means they're probably going to choke in the first round. But that's beyond the point. The Celtics coming in on 3 straight wins, which snapped their 2-game losing streak against Atlanta. The Sacramento Kings coming in on the second half of a back-to-back here. They just blew a big lead last night against the Knicks. And wow, with this being a back-to-back, it kind of has me interested in the Celtics. Even laying this type of number, I'm kind of interested in Boston at the 9.5 number in this game to just blow out the Kings, who are on a second half of a back-to-back. After a game where they blew a lead last night. Now they have a much tougher game. It's Celtics 9.5 or nothing for me in this game.
I'm not touching a -10.
What about 9.5?
9.5. I'm not touching either one of them, especially after they lost last night in New York. If they would have won, maybe I can make the argument. I do think 10 points is a lot, but at the same time, it is Boston who's been the best team in the East all year.
Best team in the NBA all year.
Yeah. They've kind of answered my question. Well, actually, this is going to be the first game since they clinched the number 1 seed in the entire league. So I could see some players sitting out. Would be my concern. I'm not going to be back in the I'm not going to be touching Celtics games right now just because their lines are way too wide, and motivation is definitely a factor of whether or not I got to look at that. And yes, they are the best team, but they're not trying to hunt down any significant records, which is another reason why I'm going to just kind of I don't know what type of motivation they have. Let's get to 66 wins. I really don't see much, so it would be a look towards the Kings, but not enough for me when I get to it.
Fair enough.
Has she ever been on? No, she's never been on a show. Celtics already. Yeah, they did. Warriors money line. Do the Warriors play today? They do in Dallas. Interesting. Oh boy, another shit show.
Yeah, I love these matchups. These matchups are fun. We have the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies. I know I do, but it's beyond the point. Memphis Grizzlies and the Detroit Pistons. We're seeing this line open up at a 1.5 on BetOnline. It's down to a 1. So we've had a slight move towards the Pistons in this game. It did get up to a 2.5 at one point. It's come down. And then we have a line opening up at 208. It's up to 211. So we've had a move towards the over. We've had a slight move towards the Pistons in this one here. We have 96% of the cash is on the Pistons. That explains the point line move towards them. Actually, it really doesn't, because I think at this number, this line should be moving more. And then we have 57% of the tickets are on the money line here for the Memphis Grizzlies. So we have the public here on the Pistons in this game, which is kind of interesting. 67% of the tickets are on the over line, moving towards said over in this game. And my numbers have the Grizzlies as bigger favorites in this game, around 3.5, 4-point favorites in this game. I'm not very, obviously, nobody's high on the Pistons here. And I've noticed this year that one little problem my numbers have had is they've really liked the Grizzlies. I think if there's one team in the NBA that's cost me the most amount of money, it's the Grizzlies. But that being said, I'm interested in going back to the Grizzlies here. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games against the Detroit Pistons, so they've dominated this matchup. They're coming in on back-to-back wins. They just beat this Pistons team on the first. Now they get to play them again. I know it's tough to beat a team multiple times in a row, but when they're as bad as the Pistons, I'll throw that away. And they won against the Pistons in Detroit. And on the flip side, we have a Pistons team that's really been struggling as of late. 1-9 in their last 10, but they are 5-5 ATS. Both teams 5-5 ATS their last 10. I'm interested in the Memphis Grizzlies, and I'm going to move on the Memphis Grizzlies in this game.
All right, cool. 1-800-GAMBLER. These are two teams that have been eliminated for the last month. The Detroit Pistons are the worst team in basketball. And at this point, it's
Hornets would like to have a word with that.
Huh?
Hornets would like to have to have a word with that.
Pistons say, hold my beer, I got 5 games on you.
Oh, I just mean like power rankings wise.
No, the Detroit Pistons are the worst team in basketball. I don't care what your power rankings say. The Pistons are the worst team in basketball. And the Memphis Grizzlies have been eliminated for a while. No, I want absolutely nothing to do with this game. I want to go after games that matter, and there's not a lot of them today.
I'm going to be on the Memphis Grizzlies. Minus 112 on FanDuel.
Good luck. Knicks, anybody? No Knicks today. If you want a weather report, watch the news. Celtics first half. I trust Perky for the weather news. He's one of the best weather reporters in the U.S.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Bucks laid an egg with the Grizz this hand. I mean, this game is Pistons minus 4.5. Good luck to you. Pass on the Portland game bum fight. I regret not profiting off Grizzlies' win against Pistons last game. I can't pass it up here. Grizzlies, Cunningham out. You guys have fun with those two teams. I will be involved in this game, and it's because I gave it out on a free pick video yesterday.
Yeah, we have the Miami Heat and the Houston Rockets. The Heat are minus 2.5-point road favorites with a total of 215 in this game. Rockets on a second half of a back-to-back kind of had the dagger stabbed in their chest last night with that loss against the Warriors. Line opened up at 3.5. It is down to a 2.5, so we do have a 1-point line movement here towards these Houston Rockets. Line opened up at a 214. It is now moved up to a 215 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have nothing for the cash flow. We have 66% of the tickets are on the Heat money line. We have 89% of the cash are tickets on the Rockets spread. And looking at this game here, let me take a look at what I got projected for this game. I have the wrong team favored in this spot. And I get it. It's the second half of a back-to-back. But where have we made money with this Houston Rockets team? At home as a dog. They kind of remind me of the St. Louis Blues of basketball. They're a team that, as a plus money dog, has made you a lot of money this year at home. And I think this is another spot where I get it. They're on a second half of a back-to-back, but I think this is a good spot for the Houston Rockets. And I'm interested in backing Houston in this game. I think the wrong team is favored in this spot. This has been a moneymaker for me this year. Houston Rockets as a home dog. I'm going to shop around for that. I think I'm going to move on that.
Yeah, I'm already on the Rockets today. I will say it was a pick'em last night when I did the video, so not as liking this much anymore. Just because the line, obviously the line moved because of their absolutely ugly performance against the Golden State Warriors. I think it's a good bounce back spot for them here against a Heat team that went back and forth with the 76ers last night, and they ended up losing that game by 4 points. So technically both teams lost their last game. But as I mentioned on my free pick video last night, I will be on the Houston Rockets here on the money line versus Miami Heat.
I'm on the same page here. I'm getting Houston plus 2.5, minus 108. Houston money line plus 122 over on our friends at FanDuel.
Sounds good. Put that in. We're good to go. Okay. Trust me, I'm drinking. I know what I'm talking about. Got it. Boston might rest their starters, but lean Boston minus in the under. Say word. I lean over. Tired legs. Rockets on back-to-back and 3-point dogs against the Heat. Rockets first quarter, money line first quarter, race to 20 first quarter, and minus 1 full game. Yes. Boston has nothing to play for. Road Warriors against the Luka Magic. When I hear clicking, when I hear keys clicking, y'all just agree on the same pick live, and that's going on the PMP. Yes. A pass on Detroit game, but leaning Detroit in the over. Blast off. What up, Nick? Hasn't been a good week in hockey for me, but I got the Oilers.
No. I'm leaning Oilers. I haven't bet anything in hockey yet. My bad. I bet one thing in hockey so far, and it's the Kraken minus 1.
How about this game? Have you bet anything with this game?
We'll get into it. We have the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls 1.5-point favorites in this game with a total of 212 and 212.5 range. Line opened up at a 208.5. It's up to a 212, and we have this line opened up at a pick'em. It's up to a minus 1.5 for the Bulls. So we've had a move towards the Bulls and the move towards the over in this game. Taking a look at the cash flow in the spot here, where we have 64% of the tickets are on the Knicks. We get the line moving towards the Bulls, and 79% of the tickets are on the Knicks with the line moving towards the Bulls. I think the Knicks are kind of screwed without Randall. When I was saying I liked futures with the Knicks, I'm glad I stayed off of them because I had Randall in my head on that team throughout that playoff run. Now I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on them because that is a huge loss for them, which is unfortunate because I would like to see what a fully healthy Knicks team could do this year in the playoffs. But with that being said, I have this game priced with the Knicks as decent favorites, but I don't like the way this market's moving, which will be enough to keep me off the game now. The way that this line is moving, whatever, should mean that we just go ahead and bet the Bulls in this game. I feel like the Bulls are probably the right side when you look at the market and things along those lines. It's just not a game I'm going to get involved with, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to either. The Bulls, I mean, the only thing that the Bulls / Hawks are playing for is who's going to host the 9-10 game. Right now, the Bulls have it by half a game. The Knicks,
which is a big deal. That is a big deal. Who hosts that game?
The Knicks are kind of just they're currently sitting tied for the 4/5 with the Magic. 2.5 games up on the Indiana Pacers, 3 games up on Miami. They should be fine to not have to fall down to the play-ins. That's the way I'm looking at it, is that they should be okay in terms of that. But but this is a team that's beat up now. And as I mentioned earlier, if I'm Oklahoma City, I would love to play the Knicks in the first round.
Too bad you're in the Western Conference.
Sorry, Orlando. I would love to play the Knicks in the first round. Shut up.
You did, I did the same thing.
But once again, another game. I'd rather pass on a game than bet on the Bulls. So, not really anything going in this game. I know it's been a boring card for me because I've been passing on a lot of games.
NBA is difficult right now.
Huh?
NBA is difficult right now.
NBA and NHL are difficult right now because you're trying to figure out where certain teams are at. So,
yes.
In terms of motivation, all that crap. So, we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Back to Check. By the way, Bronny is officially declaring for the NBA draft.
All right. Who cares? He's not going to do anything in the NBA. He barely did anything in college.
No, but he'll get drafted because he's LeBron's kid. He'll get drafted because he's LeBron's kid.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to get drafted because the team knows whoever drafts him is going to probably get LeBron James too.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the VGK tonight. I was looking heavily towards VGK -1. I really was, and I still might pull the trigger on it. I just haven't just haven't bet it yet. Baltimore money line. We'll get into baseball in a little bit.
Yes.
Houston money line. There you go.
Yes.
It feels like a sneaky bull spot. I do think this is a bull spot if I had to bet anything. Chicago money line. Lean. Yeah. A pass. Knicks done. No Randall. Yeah. Yep. Basketball and hockey is a pass till playoffs for me. That's fair. On the South Carolina Gamecocks women's tonight. I'm only going to put like $1 on this, but I'm going to put together a 4-teamer for both national championships to be UConn versus NC State. Which I'm going to put I think when I punched it into FanDuel the other day, $1.13 would profit me $100 if that were happened. So I think I might put the $1.13 on that in order to try to win $100 for both championship matchups to be UConn and NC State, because it's the first time in March Madness history that 2 teams have Final Four teams in both men's and women's. So I thought that was kind of
crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, even though I'm gonna probably be heavy on the Purdue Boilermakers to blow out the Wolfpack in that game, but yeah. But I've been fading the Wolfpack all tournament long, and we've seen how that's gone. So we'll see. I think there's definitely the best team that the Wolfpack has played the entire tournament, though, because I think Purdue may be the best team in the tournament. So let's get into this next one here: the San Antonio Spurs and the New Orleans Pelicans in this game here, where we have the Pelicans 11.5-point favorites, total of 218.5. Pelly's off of a couple bad losses, really. Let's take a look here for them. Where it opened up with the Pelicans as 11.5-point favorites. They're down to an 11, so the line's moved half a point towards the Spurs in this game. Line opened up at a 219.5. It's down to a 219, so we've had a slight move towards the under as well here. Looking at the cash flow in this game here, we have 99% of the tickets according to are on the Spurs plus the points. So I guess that explains the line move towards the Spurs. Only 3,337 tickets in, so not too much of a sample size. 8 straight wins head-to-head for these New Orleans Pelicans over the San Antonio Spurs. So this is an opponent that they've really been able to handle. Back-to-back losses for the and wow, those games were closer in my head than I thought they were. 117, 113 against. That's the Spurs. That's why. They lose by 9 against the Magic. They lose by 13 against the Suns, and they lose by 12 against the Celtics. So this is a team that is on a 3-game losing streak, and this is their 6th game of the homestand. That's been a very unsuccessful homestand for them, and they will hit the road for 4 games and before they play their home finale in 9 days on the 14th against the Lakers. So This is a Pelicans team that this is their second to last home game of the year. This feels like a get-right spot for the New Orleans Pelicans. It's what this feels like. A spot where they should win this game by 20 points. Am I trusting the Pelicans to lay 11.5? Not particularly. This San Antonio Spurs team has been scrappy, even though they've been eliminated. 5 straight covers, all of them as dogs. They were 12-point dogs against the Suns. They went outright. They were 4-point dogs against the Rockets or against the Jazz. They went outright. They were 8.5-point dogs against the Knicks. They went outright. They were 10.5-point dogs against the Warriors. They lose by 4, and they were 15.5-point dogs against the Nuggets, and they lose by 5. So this has been a team that has been scrappy as of late. My numbers have this game around 11.5, so I see no line value in this game. It feels like a get-right spot for the Pelicans after 3 losses, a big step down in competition. Your last game of your homestand, you want to go out with a win. Is this a game I need to get involved with, though? No. But this feels like the Pelicans beat the brakes off of the Spurs in this game.
I mean, it should. You got the Spurs who are been terrible on the road, and who are already eliminated from playoffs, dead last in the West right now, which under their win total looks great. Pelicans are currently sitting in that 7 seed, tied with the Suns, and a game ahead of the Kings, and a game behind the Mavericks for that 5 seed. So definitely kind of must-win spots if they don't want to have to play in the play-ins. But am I laying 11.5 points? No, I'm not laying 11.5 points. So I think for NBA today, as boring as it sounds, I'm not sure about this Dallas game yet, but I think, there's a couple of spots. We'll see. Nothing in this game, though.
Fair.
Have Iowa advancing. Me too. Yes, Tim. Boring with the NBA picks. I know. I suck. No one cares about Brownie. I know. I just saw it on Twitter. I hope Milwaukee gets New York in the first round. That's not going to happen.
No, the Knicks are too high for that.
New York's not going to fall that far. San Antonio Spurs plus in the money line. Good luck. VGK last legger, 4-legger payout, $200. Right on. Pelicans are nothing for me as well. It's fair. Another game I want 0 interest in.
Yeah, the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks 15-point favorites in this game, total of 227.5. The Bucks team 15-point favorites that are coming in off of back-to-back losses as double-digit favorites in both of them, I believe. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where it opened up at a 15.5. It's down to a 15. It did get up to a 16.5 at one point, but we've had a slight move towards the Raptors in this game. Total opened up at 219.5. Actually, it looked, but immediately went up to 225. So actually, the opening number was 225, and it's gone up to a 228.5. So we've had still a pretty decent size move towards the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, which have where is it? Bucks. Here we go. 27% of tickets and 67% of the cash is on the Bucks in this game. 88% of tickets are on the money line for the Bucks. Who cares? No cash flow or tickets on the total in this game. I mean, I have this game priced around a 12, but when you look at what this Raptors team has done, can I make an? I get it. They don't have the worst record in basketball. I'm aware of what the records are. The Toronto Raptors are maybe the worst team in basketball right now. Just the way that 10-game losing streak, and none of them have been particularly close. They lose by 48 against the Timberwolves. They lose by 17 against the Lakers. They lose by 15 against the Sixers. They lose by 44 against the Knicks. They lose by only 8 against the Nets. They played a 3-point game against the Wizards. Whoop-de-freaking-do. They lose by 20 against OKC. They lose by 34 against Sacramento. They lose by 15 against the Magic. They lose by 10 against the Magic. They haven't won a single game. The only games that they've been within single digits are the Nets and the Wizards. The Raptors are the worst team in basketball right now, at least since the All-Star break. And I get it. We have the Hornets probably at the worst record. We have all these other teams Pistons with worse record, stuff like that. Worse record than the Raptors. But the Raptors, talent-wise right now, are the worst team in basketball, along with the Hornets, in my opinion. That being said, do I want anything to do with this game? The only way I can look is laying the points with the Bucks. Sharp money on the Bucks, and I don't think my power rankings have crashed enough on the Raptors yet, because they still have them, I think, like 26th or 27th in my power rankings on a bunch of them. So I have absolutely no interest in taking points with the Raptors in any way, shape, or form tonight. I would lay the hammer with the Bucks, if anything. And when you look at the opposite side of Milwaukee, this should, in theory, be a team they lay the hammer on. You lose back-to-back games against Memphis and Washington. They should. However, am I gonna put my hard-earned money on the Bucks to do that? Hell no. No. Easy pass for me, 15 points. This game, we'll probably come back and be like, yeah, the Bucks won this game by 36. So I think if you like the Bucks in this game, I think the way to approach it is don't lay 15, lay 25.
Yes,
and get at least a decent reward for laying this many points. So I would say lay a bigger hammer in this game if you're going to be betting the Bucks.
I would say 1-800-GAMBLER, stay off of it.
Yeah,
because
I like to see how far it can stretch out the spread.
Milwaukee should have blasted Washington, loser. Should have blasted Memphis at home, loser.
Okay.
How much How much does Milwaukee care right now?
That's a good point. Where would you rank these three teams? Grizzlies, Wizards, Raptors.
I'd have the Wizards as the worst team. I'd have the Grizzlies as the best out of those three. And I would have the Raptors in between, just because the Wizards had a crazy-ass losing streak too. Now I think was worse. Full schedule. I think they had something similar to that. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They had 16 losses in a row. They had a stretch where they lost 12 out of 13. This Wizards team is the worst team out of the bunch, Nick. For sure. In my opinion.
Fair. I can get plus 290 on the Bucks minus 26.5.
Have fun. Fakers, Pels, Kings will be in playing. And your Warriors.
The Warriors are not jumping the Parleys.
They're not. I don't think that's possible. Warriors are 11 games. Well, they're only 3 games back. But no, they're not getting there. I would never trust my money with the Raptors with what they've shown the past month. Whoever moving the line is insane. Toronto plus and over. Toronto covers.
You know who the people who are moving the lines are the ones who are betting the Cleveland Browns during their own 17 run. They were the ones that are betting the Oakland Athletics every game last year, which I was part of that, but that's beyond the point. It's those type of people who think that there's value on the worst team in the league, which I'm kind of a part of that theory, at least in spread sports. I think there's value on the worst team in the league. With that being said, no, I'm not going to be betting this one.
If it's part of a multi-team parlay, buy the points. No. Yes, don't lay 15, lay 19. Had Penguins reverse puck line yesterday. Yeah, exactly. What's up, dude? What's up, Markel? The people who have give money and money to burn. There you go. That's the people that do it.
Are betting the Raptors in this game, yeah.
We got 3 games left, Nick. I may jump on one game, and it would be the next one.
Yeah, we have the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Mavericks 5-point favorites in this game, total of 226 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this game here, where we have Dallas opening up at 4.5. They're up to a 5. So we've had a move towards the Dallas Mavericks in this game. Line opened up at a 229. It's down to a 225.5. So we've had a move towards the under in this one as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have the Mavericks getting 75% of the tickets, 97% of the cash, and the line moving towards them. And then 75% of the tickets on the under, line moving in that direction as well. Let's take a look at my projections for this game here, where I have where is this game? Dallas. I have Dallas more along the lines of 2-point favorites in this game, and I get it. It's a back to, and one thing that my numbers do not account for is back-to-backs. They do not account for back-to-backs. They do not account for injuries. So when I say my number, that is with home court advantage pumped in, and that's about it. And then they're straight power rankings, the raw power rankings, and the home court advantage. It has nothing to do with injuries, has nothing to do with back-to-backs, which end up keeping me off spots. Golden State coming in playing really well, 6 wins in a row, including a nice 133 to 110 win against the Houston Rockets last night. On the flip side, they also played last night, the Dallas Mavericks. They were at home against Atlanta, and they went 109 to 95. So not a huge travel spot because the Golden State Warriors were literally only in Houston last night. So not a travel spot really for them. So that's kind of an interesting angle there. But I have no interest in this game whatsoever. It would be Warriors or nothing for me, personally, getting the points in this game and maybe a little money line sprinkle. Because this is a team that's been playing really well as of late. The public seems to like Dallas tonight. So that's kind of interesting as well.
Dallas has also been playing really good.
They have. These two teams just played, though, on the 2nd. It was a 4-point game where Golden State won in Golden State. So maybe a little bit of short-term revenge here as well, which will end up keeping me off the spot. But it's Warriors or nothing for me.
Yeah, I really, after last night's huge win for Warriors, which kind of locked themselves into a play-in spot, I think this could be more of a letdown spot for them. And I know you really shouldn't have a letdown spot when you're this close to play-ins or whatever. But I could definitely see this as a bad spot for the Warriors. Mavericks, they had their winning streak snapped the other day. They came back with a nice win in their last game. I just think this would be more of a Maverick spot in my opinion. But not enough for me to really want to sway either way. It's a look towards the Mavericks, but nothing going for me.
Fair.
I got the over Philly and their team total, Braves, and the Orioles money line spread. Warriors. No, thank you. Warriors money line. Warriors race 220 first quarter. Kenny Thompson over 3s. Road Warriors. An hour into the show and almost through the sport that doesn't matter.
Yes.
I know. We riding the waves? Yes, we're riding the wave. I think this is why I cashed Mavs ticket. Suns versus Pelicans versus Spurs, Mavs versus Warriors. No reason to take the risk. There you go. Warriors yesterday were on my four-teamer. Nice, dude. I was on the opposite side, and I lost that one, but it is what it is. What about this one, Nick?
Yeah, this one's an interesting one here with the Phoenix Suns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Suns 4-point favorites at home in here in this game, total of 216.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, Phoenix and Minnesota, where we have this line opened up at a 4. It's still a 4. It did get down to a 2 at one point, but it's come back up to the 4. Line opened up at a 219.5. It's down to a 216.5. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had no move on the side. Taking a look at the cash flow here, 75% of the tickets are on the Suns, and then 80% of the tickets are on the over in this game here. Not really too much of a sample size, 4,967 tickets in. My numbers for this game have the Timberwolves as a favorite in this game, which seeing them at +4 makes me believe that obviously my numbers don't account for injuries. There's probably an injury factor here in this one. So I would like to know the injury situation. If there really isn't any, I'm interested in the T-Wolves here getting the points.
No cat. But he's gonna be out for a little while. Personally, I'm on the Suns.
Really?
Yes, I'm on the Suns in this game. This is a lot more of an important game for the Suns than it is for the Timberwolves, and it's at home. The Suns have actually looked good the last 10 games. 7-3 their last 2 games. Minnesota's looked good too. 8-2 their last 10 games. But if I wanted to back Minnesota, it would have to be more towards the home side where they're 28-10. And trust me, if I'm backing this Suns team, it's where they're at home and they're 10 games over 500, 24-14. This is a Suns team that's currently tied with those Pelicans for the 6-7. They've got the tiebreaker over that, so they need to hold on to that 6 seed to not play in the play-ins. I think they get the upper hand on Minnesota here. I have Phoenix minus the 4 in this one, Nick.
Yeah, I think Phoenix is more looking towards passing Dallas, I think, than worrying about the Pelicans passing them.
Yes and no, because passing Dallas really doesn't do all that much.
Who would you rather play in the first round, the Thunder or the Clippers?
Yeah, I would rather play the Thunder, to be honest. The Thunder has less experience, but obviously I have Thunder going far. But as the Suns, I would probably rather play the Thunder. But that's just them stylistically. But the Suns just want to not play in the play-ins. That's going to be their big case, because if they have to play in the play-ins, then they have to play Minnesota. So there, if I was them, I would be a lot more worried about not having to play Minnesota or Denver rather than whether or not you're playing Oklahoma City or the Clippers.
Fair enough. Just kind of an interesting process behind that at this time of the year.
Phoenix money line or Phoenix minus, yes. Minnesota for twin. I mean for the win. I don't know what that is. Pass. Too much variance. Yeah, Cat's still out. Thunder, Nick. Yeah, you would rather play the Thunder, I think, for sure. Let's head to the final NBA game of the day, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Clippers as 12.5-point favorites against the Utah Jazz. Total 223 in this game. Kind of an interesting matchup because of the Clippers on a back-to-back in this game off of a big win against the Denver Nuggets last night. Line opened up at a 13. It's down to a 12.5 for the Clippers. Line opened up at a 223.5. It's down to a 223. Move towards the under. Move towards the Clippers. And this one here, we have 87% of the tickets are on the Jazz. So actually a lot of tickets coming in on the Jazz plus the points in this game. Kind of interesting there. Thinking a lot of people thinking that this Clippers team should not be laying this type of number on a back-to-back. I think situationally it's a bad spot for the Clippers. 75% of the tickets are on the over here as well in this game. I have this game priced around a 9.5. So I've actually have very, very decent interest in the Utah Jazz in this game. We get just a pretty poor situation for the Clippers. You're coming in off of arguably one of your biggest wins of the year. And now you get the lowly Utah Jazz, who are currently 12th. Yeah, they're eliminated. They're currently 12th in the Western Conference. Like, this is not a team that this is a very easy team to overlook. And the Jazz are coming in. Wow, that's ugly. 10 straight losses? More. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 losses. Granted, those losses were to Minnesota, OKC, Dallas, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Sacramento, Cleveland. A bunch of teams that are in the postseason race. So they've been losing games. They've not really been covering. I have interest in the Utah Jazz, and maybe maybe this interest in the Utah Jazz is hoping they fall down early and Clippers get tired late or pull starters late, and I can get a live line of like plus 18.5 with the Jazz type of thing. Do I want to take 12.5? That's the only way I can look in this game, but I think I'm just going to stick with what I've got in the NBA, which is Blazers, Rockets, and Grizzlies, which is gross, but I think this is what I'm going to stick with.
Give me the Jazz. This is one I was going back and forth on. I'll take the Jazz with the Clippers in a bad spot. Big win versus the Nuggets. I could easily see this one being a flat spot for the Clippers here. I just think, and I was able to get 13. Yeah. I was able to get 13, so I'm a lot happier with that. This is a spot for me that I'm going to be on the Jazz. You like Jazz? I like Jazz.
I'm going to see if I can find a 13 as well. I cannot. It's 12.5 across the board.
I was able to get 13. It says on top bet.
Yeah. I'll take 12.5 minus 108 on DraftKings. I'm fine with that. I'll take a shot with the Jazz here.
Right on. Let's back to the chat and then baseball.
Yep.
Bestie Gamecocks women's minus 9.5, minus 170. No. Clippers yesterday, without a doubt. Might go back to them today. No. Utah plus in the under, but penalty as a pass, and Jazz first quarter money line. Yeah. I'm on downtown Detroit opening day. Again, opening day game at home starts at 1. Good luck with the shows. Go A's, ride the wave. Well, let's head to the MLB, Nick.
Yeah, and I was going to make a comment on one person saying the Clippers first quarter, or Jazz first quarter. I want the full game with the Jazz because with the back-to-back to the Clippers, I think that they can ride the momentum. If you like the Clippers, you take them first quarter, first half, and then maybe they pull back a little bit for the full game. So yeah, so I would prefer the full game with the Jazz rather than the first half, because that leaves you available to a backdoor cover as well, which I do not have the money line with the Jazz today. I will not have the money line with the Jazz today. So
got it.
Yeah, Jazz plus 12.5 is the final play on my NBA card. What a beautiful card I have. Blazers and Rockets and Grizzlies and Jazz. I would notice how with the NBA a lot is I'll bet these ugly plays.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning, Untouchable. Very midnight in hockey. I like paying Capitals in the under again.
Get into that.
Let's hop into the MLB, Nick.
Yeah, we have the New York Yankees home opener in this one here against the Toronto Blue Jays. Minus 165 for the Yankees, total 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where the Yankees opened up as 145 favorites. It's up to a 147 on Bet Online. So we've had a move towards the Yankees here on Bet Online. Line opened up at an 8. It's down to a 7.5. It opened up at an 8. Or my bad. It opened up at a 9. It's down to an 8.5. Opened up at 9 plus 105. And immediately went down to an 8.5. Since then, it's moved slightly. Since it moved down to the 8.5, it's moved 2 cents towards the over. But it did move down half a run. This is the New York Yankees home opener. They're 6-1 to start the year. All those were on the road. It's Marcus Stroman and Yusei Kikuchi. Marcus Stroman making his second appearance with the Yankees. He pitched against the Houston Astros on March the 30th, where he went 4 innings, gave up no earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in 6 innings. There, he did it. There was 3 runs he gave up, but none of them were earned. And then we have Yusei Kikuchi on the other side, where we have he went up against the Tampa Bay Rays in his first start, gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 4 1/3 innings pitched. The Yankees are getting 86% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on the money line moving slightly towards them in this game. And then we have 62% of the tickets and 50% of the cash is on the under in this game. And depending on where your opening line was, this line's either move slightly towards the over, or within the first couple minutes, it went from a 9 down to an 8.5. I think the 8.5 is more of a right number in this game, and I would look maybe a little bit towards the over in this spot here. The Yankees have been a decent little decent little under team though. 1-5-1 over under this year. It looks like according to my covers, it looks like we're getting some nice wind blowing out. I want to see if that's just the way it is when you look at forecasts. No. Oh yeah. Looks like the wind is blowing towards the short porch there in Yankee Stadium today. We're seeing around 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right field with about 21% chance of precipitation. So feels like this could be nice hitting conditions for this matchup here. And I lean over the total in this spot. I want to take a look at what the line is for this over. I think I want to move on it here. Could be a tricky spot for the Yankees. It is their home opener, but they're coming back from the West Coast. So that could be a little bit tricky there. I'm seeing 8.5 minus 110 is the best number on FanDuel. I'm going to move on this over. I'm going to move on the over here in this game.
One of the teams involved is the Toronto Blue Jays. I've bet them once this year. That's all I'm going to be betting them this year. It's a team that I know I'm not going to get right, so I'm not going to put my money on their games. So I'm going to pass on this one to start off.
Sure.
Sabers puck line and the over under in the Colorado Edmonton game, and the Yotes on the money line.
The under in that Edmonton game. That's an interesting look.
We could have ride the wave on when they face the Guardians. No. I can't believe I'm betting the Stinkies. I'm done with the Mets games for now. After yesterday, I got them both wrong. Maybe just polar bear home run prop situationally. Fair.
There's one thing I need to ask about that home run is how the hell did he hit that one out?
He's strong. Yankee money line. I'm on a pick me contest for the MLB slate. Just money lines. Pick them. I got you.
Yeah, I would take the Yankees in a pick 'em contest like that.
This one is going to be a fun game, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Detroit Tigers and the Houston. Wrong game. Oakland Athletics. They are definitely not the Houston Astros. We have J.P. Sears and Tariq Skubal as your pitching matchup in this one. Line opened up at a 240. It's down to a 230. Line opened up at a 7.5 plus 105. It's still a 7.5 at plus 105. 80% of the tickets are on the under. We've had no line movement here towards the side. We have had a move towards the Oakland Athletics with 10% of the tickets and 52% of the cash on Oakland in this game. And what's scary in this game for me is trusting the Athletics full game. And I'm actually very interested in the Athletics in this game. Why? Because when we look at what the Tigers just went through, and this is why I think we could throw the bullpens out for this game here, or at least attempt to. Number one, the Tigers bullpen's ranked 20th in baseball. It's not like they have a great bullpen anyway. But when you look at what they had to go through yesterday, we have a Detroit Tigers bullpen. They're probably going to ask Tariq. I think actually a great prop for this game, if you're a prop bettor, Tariq Skubal over outs, because they're gonna push him really far into this game. Because when you look at the pitchers that the Tigers went through yesterday, granted, not as much in the second game. Matt Manning went 5 2/3. Then Holton gave him 2, and Faedo gave him 0.2. But that first game went 11 innings, and Mize only went the first 4 1/3. They had Joey Wentz pitch, they had Lang pitch, they had Chafin pitch, they had Foley pitch, they had Miller pitch. And Miller pitched 2 innings, and the rest threw 1 inning other than Joey Wentz 1 2/3. So the availability of the bullpen of the Tigers is not great today. Now, granted, we're going to have to trust the Oakland A's here in this spot. And I'm genuinely looking at what I'm actually going to look at the out prop for Tariq Skubal, because I think this is a great player prop if you're looking for one today. With the amount, and you can do the same thing with Jose Quintana with the Mets. With the bullpen going the way they were, they're going to push him a little further than they probably would like to today. So I'm going to I would like to move on the Oakland A's in this game, and I would like to probably double up on them first 5 full game, which is scary, but it is what it is. And they know how good of a potential prop this is because Tariq School's outs are not listed on DraftKings. So that's kind of interesting there. But they do have 8.5 strikeouts for him at plus 115. So they have a high expectation for him here. I like JP Sears. JP Sears is a pitcher that I would like to back this year with the Oakland A's. Maybe if not for now, granted, he did not have a good opening appearance. He gave up 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and 3 2/3 innings pitched. On the flip side, Tariq Skubal in his first matchup against the White Sox looked really good. Granted, it was the White Sox. He gave up no earned runs on 3 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and 6 walks, or 6 innings pitched. It's a game that I'm going to move on the Oakland A's, and I'm going to move on them first 5 in full game, looking to fade the Tigers after a doubleheader yesterday and going through as much bullpen as they did. So I'm seeing plus 180 on FanDuel, and I'm seeing plus 200 on FanDuel. I'm going to move on both of them here. FanDuel, first 5 full game, Oakland A's.
I will say I would never have made this bet if it wasn't for the Tigers having to play a doubleheader yesterday. I'm on Oakland. I'm on Oakland money line. The Detroit Tigers just had to play 20 innings of baseball yesterday from about, when did it start? Noon to the ended roughly, 7 o'clock-ish, somewhere in that area, 6:30-ish.
Yeah.
And then they had to hop in a plane, fly from New York to Detroit. Granted, not a far flight. By this thing, and now they have to play a game pretty much 24 hours later or 18 hours later. I think this is a flat spot for the Detroit Tigers. I think, and you got Oakland coming into this game rested. They did not have to play yesterday. Their last game was at home versus Boston. They lost 1-0 in an early game. They got to fly over. They were all resting when the Tigers were still playing against the Mets. This is just a bad spot for the Detroit Tigers. I like the Oakland Athletics in this.
Fair.
I'm not saying that one out loud. Just give me the Nerfy and the first 5 under. I can see that. Bulls. No,
yeah.
I kind of lean Bulls, but I'm not betting that game. Under in the Yankee game, I could see that.
I took the over. Tigers,
no. Detroit, no. The Athlets, yes, I like the Athletic today. JP Sears, very hittable. That's fine. I was thinking Tariq Skubal, K-Prop, aren't the A's a high strikeout team? Yes. Maybe Tigers minus 1.5, but now I think I should have gone first 5.
I think if you do like the Tigers, you take them first 5, yeah.
Skubal under 8.5 strikeouts?
No. I think if Skubal, I think the tough part about that is they're going to push him further in this game because of potential lower availability from their bullpen.
Yeah. Indiana State was rough pregame. Yeah, that was definitely a rough game. Let's head to this one, Nick. Should be a fun game.
I'm gonna have a move on this one here too. This is not the home opener, but we get a 2:00 baseball game for the Chicago Cubs. In this game, we have Kyle Hendricks and Bobby Miller on this one here. Line opened up at a 165 for the Dodgers. No surprise, it's gone up 173 for the Dodgers. So we've been moved towards LA. Line opened up at a 7, and it's up to a 7.5. So we've had to move towards the over. We've had to move towards the Dodgers. 89% of the tickets, 91% of the cash is on the Dodgers here, or on the over in this game. 93% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the Dodgers. So no surprise here, Tim. The public's on the Dodgers. Granted, they are 7-2 to start the year. I'm going to update my numbers for the Dodger fade. I haven't done that the last couple of days, but it's 2-7 to start the year, down a couple of units. But my theory with this is we just need a small losing streak from them, and we're right back in the black, which I think is possible. And I know there's going to be games where we gain back 2 units against the Dodgers because they're going to be monster favorites every game. And if you look at the +1.5 this year against the Dodgers, they're not hitting at the clip that they have the last few years. So they're winning games, the Dodgers, but they're not winning games by margin. Because when you look at what the Dodgers have done this year, they have 5-2 win, 15-11 loss, 7-1, 6-3. But since then, they lost 6-5, they won 5-4, they won 8-3, 5-4, and 5-4. They've failed to cover the run line in 4 of their last 5 games. So people who are betting the Dodger run line are just losing money right now. They're lighting money on fire at the moment. Bobby Miller, this will be his second appearance. He pitched against the St. Louis Cardinals. He gave up no earned runs on 2 hits, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched in a 6-3 win against St. Louis. On the flip side here, Kyle Hendricks making his second appearance. He pitched against the Texas Rangers and struggled. Went 3 2/3, gave up 5 earned runs on 9 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. You guys know where I'm already going in this game. The LA Dodgers are playing, so I'm on the opposite side. I think the one time I'm going to have a really tough time with this is with my Dodger fade is which one do I value more, fading the Dodgers or fading the Marlins? That's going to be the tough part. But I have a feeling the Marlins for that one there will end up being a -300 fade, which will overrule everything. So for me in this game, I'm seeing +160 on DraftKings. I'm on little go Cubs go here.
The Cubbies coming off of a nice sweep. Granted, it was against Colorado. But I will say they pissed me off. What was it, last night? They pissed me off. That's right. Well, let's see. They were up 8-3. They were up 8-3, 5-0, 8-3, 8-2. Sorry, and they didn't cover the run line. They ended up winning 9-8. Are you kidding me? But at the same time, this is a Cubs team that I think is starting to gain a little bit of momentum. Obviously, they got to play Colorado. It would be kind of a lean towards the Cubbies in this one. Is it enough for me to want to go after it? Kyle Hendricks versus Bobby Miller. I think Bobby Miller is going to be something special. 11 strikeouts in his opening start, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 hits. I heard a lot of people comparing Bobby Miller to Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
I think he could be a pretty solid pitcher that top prospects for the Dodgers coming up. So I think he could have a really big year. Not somebody I want to fade. So this one's a stay away spot for me.
Fair.
Tigers, Nerfy, and first 5 run line. That's it. I think Oakland wins. Everyone of the Dodgers smacks this pitcher. Miller over 6.5 Ks. I like that. Brooklyn Dodgers under. I could see the under in this game. Over. No, thank you. Both teams they can both score in bunches, but at the same time, I could easily see this one being a 3-2 game. Betts home run. I'm not going to tuck you off of it. Bobby Miller. Yeah, Bobby Miller's been good. Ohtani home run. Not going to talk you off of that. Let's keep on rolling.
I got a home run prop for this game.
Okay.
Cody Bellinger.
I like it. Against his former team. There you go.
Cody Bellinger bomb today.
This game should be gross, Nick. Look at the total in this one.
Oh, Coors Field totals are back. Tampa Bay Rays and the Colorado Rockies in this one here. We start the 4:00 games. -170 for the Rays on the road here. Total 12.5 in this game. Zach Littell versus Austin Gomber. Our favorite Austin Gomber. This line opened up at a 165. It is still at 165 over on Bet Online. Line opened up at a 12.5 -107. It's a 12.5 -125. So we've had a move towards the over, and we've had no move on the side in this game. We have 67% of tickets, 97% of cash on the under, and the line moving towards the over in this game here. Zach Littell and Austin Gomber, 2 pitchers I'm not huge fans of. Littell looked good in his first start. Granted, it was the Blue Jays. No earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched. He looked good in that game. The Rays won that one 5-1. On the other side, Austin Gomber pitched against the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was the game that they won 9-4. 4 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 4 2/3 innings pitched. So it definitely wasn't because of Austin Gomber that the Colorado Rockies won that baseball game. And when you look at this Colorado Rockies team, I know in previous years you'd be like, "Oh, Coors Field unders." Yes, no, I have no interest in Coors Field unders this year. Like this pitching staff, granted, on the road, the Rockies pitching staff has not been as bad previous years. This year, this may be the worst team. This may be the worst pitching staff in baseball. They've gone over the total in 5 of their 7 games. Now, granted, how many of these have gone over 12.5 runs? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 games of the 7 have gone over 12.5 runs. And that was at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing in and a dome in Arizona. You go to Coors Field, this Rockies team this year, they're probably going to score some runs at Coors Field this year. They're going to play to some big overs this year in Coors Field. And I know 12.5 is a hefty number. I can only look over in this game, and I'm really interested in the over in this game. And I'm going to move on the over in this game. I've already bet all 4 games so far, but these games are kind of popping out to me. We're always seeing 13s pop up. To give you an idea, we're seeing 13 even money on Fanatics and 13 minus 108 on DraftKings. I'm going to get the 12.5 here at minus 120 on FanDuel. Over 12.5 minus 120 on FanDuel for me.
I'm riding there with you. Austin Gomber's awful. He may be the worst pitcher in baseball, one of the worst pitchers in baseball. I expect him to get absolutely smashed today. And I'm not high on Zach Littell. And then one thing that we have noticed with the Rockies, at least a little bit this year, they've been able to semi-score. No, not really. Because it's either the thing is they're all or they're nothing. 2 games, they had 8 and 9. The rest of them, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0. So it's all or nothing for them. I think we see some runs from the Colorado side, especially in their home opener. And then I see some action with I see Tampa Bay putting up some runs today. Maybe a Tampa Bay run line, but at the same time, that's going to be probably heavily juiced.
Yeah, you're getting no bargain with the run line with the Rays at minus 115 to 120 range, even as minus 170 favorites. It's because
I'm not interested in a run line. Over in this game, I'm involved in that one too. Nerfy in the Mariners game. Mariners, Gilbert versus Freddie Peralta. Yeah, sure. Fading both Detroit teams today. Tigers, yes. Red Wings against the Rangers. Sure, why not? Rays on the run line. You're not really getting much of a discount. I've got a bad beat for you. Try this. Took a tennis player to win first set. It takes 6 points to win a set. They went down 3-1, then we're up 5-3, 1 point away, and lost the set 7-5. That's why I don't bet the tennis. You picked Tampa. Rockies money line. Gomber is the most is a profitable pitcher. No, he's not. Rays minus 2.5 in the over. Chris Bryant's still a stud. No. Tampa Bay minus 1.5 in the over. Good luck. By the way, Nick, I put in the private chat, but this will be the last game that I'm going to be talking about because I'm going to get out at 12 because we have a limited time with the U-Haul today. So we need to get everything done before we have to bring that back. So I'll go through this team because I love talking about this team, and then I'll have to head out.
Yep. Which I just moved on that last game. The line moved up a little bit. I got minus 128. I got the over 12.5 minus 128. So there we go for that. They got a couple boosts here for the women's games for college basketball. Let's get into it here. The Baltimore Orioles and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We have the Baltimore Orioles as minus 135 favorites with a total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have Grayson Rodriguez taking on Jarrett Jones. This line opened up at a minus 125. It's up to a 132 for Baltimore. So we do have a line move towards Baltimore in this game. Line opened up at an 8.5 at minus 115. It's down to an 8 at even money. So we've moved towards the under. We've had a move towards Baltimore. 74% of the tickets, 88% of cash on Baltimore in this game. 13,944 tickets in. 50% of the tickets, 75% of cash is on the under in this game as well. Grayson Rodriguez, a pitcher that the Orioles have a lot of hope for. He had a good appearance in his first one. Went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched in that 13-4 win against the LA Angels. On the flip side, Jared Jones looked good in his first start. Actually, he looked okay, but they got the win. He looked good with his strikeout numbers. He gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 2/3 innings pitched, and 10 strikeouts. He was fanning those Marlin hitters in that 9-3 victory for the Pirates in that game here. And this is a game that's a stay off for me. I lean under in this game. I like both these pitchers. I think both these pitchers have a decent potential to place to some unders. It's a pass for me, but no play here for me.
Well, both of them are still profitable so far this year. Baltimore, I'm measuring Baltimore money line and run line for every single game. And I'll be taking both of them. The money lines this year are 4-2, up 0.9 units. The run lines are 3-3, up 0.75 units. So I will be continuing to ride this Orioles team, and seeing that you have nothing on them. Whenever you have nothing involving in the game, I put Baltimore up on the site. So I'm going to continue to do that. Because Baltimore has been a little bit of a wagon so far this year. So copy that. I'll paste that. And we'll go from there. Orioles every day. I sent you the plays, the rest of my card for MLB. That's all I'm going to be available for. I'll let you finish the rest of the card. I got to head out. We're moving from one apartment to another, so I got a bunch of stuff I still have to get done.
Fair enough.
So good luck, everybody, today. Go Orioles, go Mets, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yep.
I'm putting up your hockey after the show, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, by the way, before you leave, where did you leave off of the chat?
Here. See it.
There you go. Finally, the best game, Orioles money line and run line lean over. There you go. We have sprinkled a small 2-teamer UConn men and women to win. It's not a bad look there. Tim with his Twitter stuff there. What up, though? Y'all late on my day off. Sending good luck and good vibes to everyone here. Let's cash. Sorry, Tim. Raise it. There you go. The Jolly Roger. Nerfy for Mets and Brewers games. Fair. Not every day, Tim. You know that variance. Yeah. But he's just doing it as an experiment. I went O's. Me, Tim. There you go. I'm coming over for the housewarming party. There you go. Don't go against them Hawkeyes, the women's. Caitlin Clark. We'll move into the next game here. The San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants. In this one here, minus 120 for the Giants, total of 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. We have Jordan Hicks and Dylan Cease, your pitching matchup here. Line opened up at a 115 on Bet Online. It is a 114 now. So we have a slight move towards the Padres. And this line opened up at an 8 at minus 105. It's now an 8 at plus 105. So we've had a move towards the under here as well. 78% of the tickets are on the under, explaining the line move towards it. 40% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on the Giants in this game as well. With the line moving slightly towards the Padres, really no line movement in this game. This is Dylan Cease's second appearance of the year. The first one was against the San Francisco Giants. He gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 4 2/3 innings pitched with his debut with the Padres. On the other side, Jordan Hicks pitched against his Padres team. He went 5 innings, gave up no earned runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. So both these pitchers had good appearances in their first go-around against these teams. Usually when that happens, I would lean towards the opposite happening and maybe go towards an over in this game. That would be my lean in this game as an over, and it would be a little bit of a lean towards the Padres in this spot in this game with the way the market is moving in this one. But is this a game that I feel the need to get involved with? Not particularly. So this will be just another pass for me in this game. I see better spots out there, but it's a pass for me here in this spot. Here, DK Nerfy boost on Mariners Brewers. There you go. I went Giants. I could see that. An over. Yeah, I would lean over in this game as well. We'll move on. The New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds minus 125 favorites, total of 9 in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow here in this one between Hunter Green and Jose Quintana. Line opened up with the Reds as minus 121 favorites. It's down to a 118. So we've had a slight move towards the Mets in this game. Line opened up at a 9 at minus 120. It's now a 9 at minus 110. So we've had to move towards the under in this spot as well. We have 87% of the tickets and 94% of the cash is coming in on the Reds, and the line moving slightly towards the Mets is kind of interesting here. Kind of a confusing market because my first look, and I'm assuming everyone else's first look, was to fade the Mets, especially at this number. It's a reasonable number with the Reds to fade the Mets in this game, especially coming in off of a doubleheader. I can only look Reds in this game, but I hate the way the market's moving in this spot if you're looking to bet the Reds in this game because the market is showing no fear towards any type of Reds money, which is going to ultimately keep me off this game. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. Jose Quintana pitched opening day for the Mets against the Brewers. Gave up 2 earned runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 4 2/3 innings pitched. On the flip side, Hunter Green, someone I have a lot of hope for here, and maybe the under is worth a look in this game here, where in the first game here for Hunter Green, he had a decent appearance. The bullpen blew it late. 2 earned runs on 5 hits, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 4 2/3 innings pitched. In this game, the Reds ballpark is usually a pretty hitters-friendly ballpark. We have about 7 mile an hour. Starts off with about 10 mile an hour winds, goes down to about 7 mile an hour winds blowing out, with it being around mid 40s. So not great hitting conditions in this game, other than the wind blowing out. I have really no interest in this spot. It'd be Reds or nothing for me in this game, just because of the Mets coming in off of that doubleheader. But the way the market's moving is enough to keep me off. It looks like the markets are inviting Reds money, so it's a pass here for me. There we go. Why are we talking about this game? Reds run line, because we talk about every game. Reds minus 1.5 as a fade of the Mets. Yeah. Don't forget today's card later. We won't. I went Mets because it's probably a good thing they are on the road. I kind of agree with that because one of the best things the Mets can probably do right now is get away from the New York media. So I'm on Caddy Hard. I have no idea what that is. And probably the best thing possible to go on the road for the Mets. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But we will move on to the next matchup here. And it's a shame Tim doesn't get to talk about his favorite pitcher in this game. We have Patrick Corbin Day here in Washington. Patrick Corbin, Aaron Nola, your pitching matchup in this one here. Line open up at a 180. It's down to a 172 for the Phillies. So we've had to move towards Patrick Corbin in the Washington Nationals. Line opened up at an 8.5 at minus 115. It's down to an 8 at minus 115. So a belief in Patrick Corbin that this line, with this line moving down, the market, 67% of the tickets, 95% of the cash on the under, and it's gone down, which I don't hate. 94% of the tickets and 75% of the cash is on the Phillies as well, thinking that Aaron Nola pitches well in this game. And I can kind of see that here. Patrick Corbin in his first start went up against the Reds. He gave up 4 earned runs in 7 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 4 1/3 innings pitched. So he didn't pitch great, but do we really expect Patrick Corbin to pitch great? The answer is probably no. The Phillies, this is their first game away from Citizens Bank Park. In his first appearance, Aaron Nola got lit up. Granted, it was against the Atlanta Braves. He gave up 6 earned runs on 11 hits and 4 1/3 innings pitched in that 12-4 loss against the Atlanta Braves in that game. So definitely a step down in competition for Aaron Nola. I think this could be a get-right spot for Nola. And the way this market's moving is telling me that Patrick Corbin pitches well, and which would lead me towards the first 5 money line here, or first 5 under, my bad. First 5 under, maybe a lean towards taking a half a run with the Washington Nationals plus a half in the first 5. You can get plus 108 on FanDuel. That's kind of enticing here, taking a first 5 plus a half and a first 5 under. First 5 under 4.5 minus 120. And in this game over on BetMGM, that's where I'm going to end up going in this game. It's just the first 5 under. I'm going to keep off the Nationals in this game because I can easily see a situation where this game is 4-0 at the end of 5 innings with Patrick Corbin giving up 4 runs. So I'm going to, because when I'm doing that, I'm asking, who do you call it, to have a really, really strong start in this game. I'm just going to stick to just the first 5 under in this game with the Nationals and Patrick Corbin. First 5 under 4.5 is minus 120 over here on BetMGM. I'm going to move on that here. Under 4.5. First 5 with the Nationals and the Phillies here in the spot. I think this is a good little under spot. I know a lot of people are just going to go Patrick Corbin over. I don't think it's that easy with Patrick Corbin, and I'll trust him here for 5 innings. First 5 under here for me. Taking a look at here. Happy Corbin Day. Yeah, Phillies. Yeah, probably Phillies win this game, but I think it's because of the bullpens. I've had suspicious market action keep me away from too much profit. Can't give much care to it anymore. Fair, I could see that. DK Nerfy boost on M's Brewers. Public going to be all over Philly. Will it even matter is the question. I think the Nationals are a live underdog in this game. I do. I would only look Nationals, and that first 5 plus a half, damn it, it's so tempting. Oh, that is so tempting for the first 5 under a half, or first 5 plus a half with the Nationals. And it's plus 106 on FanDuel. Damn it, I'm going to move on it. First 5 plus a half with the Nationals in this game. I'm talking up Patrick Corbin for a decent start, and maybe it's going to burn me, but I'm going to take the first 5 plus a half here too. In this spot, not money line. Just the first 5 plus a half, which is plus 106. So we'll move on that one as well. And hopefully we come back and it's 1-1 at the end of 5 innings or 0-0 at the end of 5 innings, and we get them both. So there we go. Over. Yeah, Nerfy. I think I might take that first 5 under 4.5. Yeah, I see this as a low variance type of first 5. Can we get Chichi Gonzalez back pitching in the league? I wish. Patrick Corbin, Jekyll and Hyde of pitchers. Yeah, he is. But the markets are pointing towards he has a good start today. Here's another interesting one here. We had the Atlanta Braves and the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Braves are minus 275 favorites in this game, which is kind of interesting. With the Diamondbacks are not a bad baseball team by any stretch of the imagination, and they're getting priced like it here in this one. And we're starting to see some 300s pop up. And not a minus 300 fade because it's not minus 300 on all my books. I think that's the way I'm going to look at it, is if it's minus 300 on all my books, or if it's minus 300 by the time I'm recording the video on most books. Line opened up at a 260. It's up to a 285 now. So we've had a move towards Atlanta in this game. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 125. It's now 8, and it's now a 9 at even money. So we've had a move towards the over, and we've had a move towards Atlanta. 98% of the tickets, 88% of the cash, 15,444 tickets in will do that. 62% of the tickets are on the over in this game as well. and the line, I believe, had moved slightly towards in that direction. And we have Tommy Henry versus Spencer Strider in this matchup here. Granted, massive pitching advantage here. Tommy Henry did not look good in his first start. He gave up 5 earned runs and 6 hits in 4 innings pitched against the Colorado Rockies. Now, this is a big step up in competition here for Henry in this game. In this spot, Spencer Strider. We all know Spencer Strider. He's an absolute beast. He's annoying. He's a cocky little fucker, but I mean, beyond the point. Other than that, he's a really good pitcher. 2 earned runs, 3 hits in his first start against the Phillies. 5 innings. He only gave up that 2-run home run to Alec Marsh in that game. They ended up winning 9-3. So obviously the pitching advantage goes pretty massively towards Atlanta, and I understand that, but should the Diamondbacks really be a borderline minus 300 fade? Like, that's crazy to think that we're talking about on FanDuel minus 300, on Caesars minus 305. This might be a full minus 300 fade soon. We're seeing minus 290s across DraftKings, ESPN Bet, Fanatics, 275 on BetMGM. This is definitely a game where I have a feeling I'm going to land on the Diamondbacks as a minus 300 fade in this spot. It's going to be ugly. Actually, I don't think it's that ugly. The Diamondbacks are not a bad baseball team. So I'm already tempted in the Diamondbacks in general at this number. And maybe you look first 5, and first 5, there's definitely some value plus 220 on FanDuel with them here. I think I just want to move on the first 5 full game anyway. And we'll call it a minus 300 fade because we're gonna fade them at plus 245 full game, and we're gonna take the plus 220 first 5. And both these are I'm not using those 2 books. Yeah, so plus 220 and plus 245 on FanDuel. I'm gonna do the minus 300 fade here. We're gonna call it that on FanDuel, and I'm gonna double up here on the Diamondbacks in this spot. I just don't think the Diamondbacks need to be this big of dogs. Yes, I get it. The Braves are a good baseball team, but the Diamondbacks were in the World Series last year. So you're giving me a minus 300 fade on last year's National League champions is absolutely ludicrous. So I'll take a shot here. Maybe I'm falling for a trap, but I'll take the first 5 full game here, plus 220, plus 245 with the Diamondbacks in this one. Let's see. Fanatics 10% boost. Braves minus 1.5, minus 114. I boosted them all year last year, and I plan to use the majority of my MLB boosts on the straight up lines. They're going to win games. Yep. Atlanta, tail first 5 under. Natties plus 1.5. I like it too. First 5 plus a half. Yeah. This line is fishy. Braves minus 3.5 alternative line. Good luck. I'm not going to fade the Diamondbacks at this big of a number. So I'm going to take my shots. I'm going to take my shots with dogs in baseball. That's just the way I am. And the Diamondbacks are one of those dogs. So Henry's first season start was ugly. And not for that, the Diamondbacks could probably get a better game in this series to bet them. Yeah, at this number, though, I think the risk reward is there for the Diamondbacks. We'll move on, though. Chicago White Sox and the Kansas City Royals. We have Brady Singer and Eric Fetty, your pitching matchup in this one here. Line opened up at a 180. It's still a 180. Line opened up at an 8.5. It's down to an 8. So we've had a move towards the under. We've had a move towards the we've now had no move on the side. 97% of the tickets are on the Royals. 86% of the tickets are on the under. The lines move towards the under here. 10,516 tickets in. Eric Fetty and the White Sox here. Eric Fetty in his first start looked okay. 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 2/3 innings pitched. Not a bad first appearance of the season for Eric Fetty. On the flip side, Brady Singer looked amazing. He was part of the 11-0 win. He went 7 solid innings, struck out 10, no earned runs on 3 hits, 1 walk. So 2 pitchers that had really nice starts in their first starts here. And the markets are indicating that they don't see many runs in this game. Now, I have no faith in this White Sox team whatsoever, especially hitting-wise. I mean, hitting-wise, they've not been very good. The shows wind blowing towards the third base side in this game. with at about 8 to 9 miles an hour. So it looks like decent pitchers friendly weather in this game, which I think can lend itself to a nice little first 5 under in this spot. Looking at this game, do I want to make a move on this first 5 under? Because I do not trust this White Sox bullpen. I think the Royals will be a nice little under team this year. Wow, this line's better than I thought we were going to be getting. We're getting a 4.5 for this. I was expecting a 4 for this total. I'll move on it. First 5 under in this game. I mean, I like the way that these two pitchers had looked in their first starts. My main worry is that Eric Fetty does not have a good game. But with that being said, this first 5 total is a 4.5 at -118. I was expecting this to be a 4. So I'll take the hook with this here, and I'll take a first 5 under in this spot at -118 on FanDuel in this spot. So first 5 under for me in this one, -118 on FanDuel. Let's take a look at the chat. Thanks for the shot. Not a problem. Tommy, 11.45 ERA. He's also made 1 start this year. So, Royals run line. First 5 Royals. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not looking at the White Sox in this game. Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers in this next game. Hunter Brown, Cody Bradford, rematch of the ALCS last year between these two teams. Line opened up at a pick'em on both sides. It's skyrocketed up to a -134. Line opened up at a 9.5. It's up to a 10. So we've had to move towards the over, and we've had to move towards the Astros. 57% of tickets, 54% of cash on the Astros in this game. 50-50 split on the total in this spot. Kind of interesting that this line's moved up with that. And this line's moved so much, considering that the Astros have been actually a pretty good under team. Hunter Brown in his first start gave up no earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts and 4 innings pitched against the New York Yankees. And on the flip side, Cody Bradford against the Cubbies in his first start gave up 2 earned runs and 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched, an 11-2 win against the Cubbies there in that spot. And this is a game that, I mean, -135 with the Astros. I think that's telling that this line is as big as it is. Even though the Astros are off to a slow start, I think the Astros are the better team between these two teams. And obviously the Astros not off to a good start. But with that being said, I have no interest in laying this type of number with the Astros on the road at the moment. And I don't really want to fade. All right. This is just not enough of a, I don't know. This is a game that I really don't have too much of a feel in. Maybe a slightly towards an over in this game, but I'm not playing it. Rangers, I lean Astros. I do. But we'll keep on moving on. 2 more games left in the MLB, and then we'll move into the NHL. Seattle Mariners are at the Milwaukee Brewers in this spot here. -120 for the Brewers, total 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one, where it opened up at a 109. It's up to a 116. So we've had a move towards Milwaukee in this game. And this line opened up at a 7.5 at +105. It's up to an 8 now on for Seattle, or for this game as well. So a move towards the over and a move towards Milwaukee. 83% of the tickets on the over are on the under, though. And the line moving towards the over, 11,364 tickets in. 58% of tickets are on the Brewers as well. This market's pointing towards it's moving towards the over. It tells me Gilbert gets hit a little bit in this spot. Peralta in his first start looked really good. Granted, it was against the New York Mets, but he went 6 innings, struck out 8, walked 1 earned run, and 1 hit, and that was the Sterling Marte home run. On the other side, Logan Gilbert in his first start against the Red Sox gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, 7 innings pitched. So both these pitchers looked really good in their first starts, which boggles my mind that this line is moving towards the over, which tells me these pitchers get hit. But at this number, I mean, it's shocking the way the market's moving in this game, which I would lean over in this game. But I'm not going to play this one. I'm not going to play this game. It would be over or nothing for me. It'd be Brewers or nothing for me. I like Freddie Peralta. I like Freddie Peralta at home. Maybe the plays the Brewers. And this game starts at 8, so I may add this later in the day. But it's Brewers or nothing for me in this game. Brew Crew, Seattle, and then Gilbert over 5.5 strikeouts. Fair. Final MLB game here. The LA Angels are taking on the Boston Red Sox. -115 for the Angels, total 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here. Line opened up at -110. It's now a -106 for the Angels. So we've had to move towards Boston in this game. Line opened up at a 9. It's down to an 8.5. So we've had to move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look. We have really nothing to move on with the market here in this spot. They're giving us nothing, which is fantastic. Griffin Canning and Cutter Crawford here in this spot. Crawford coming in, giving up no earned runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and 6 innings pitched in his debut in his season debut against the Mariners. On the other side, Griffin Canning coming in off of a bad appearance in his first matchup. They lose 13-4 against the Baltimore Orioles. He gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, in 5 innings. So did not look particularly great. The Angels are coming back from Miami, which is a tricky travel spot here. First game back, first home opener here, and their home opener is at 6:30. I thought usually teams have their own home openers during the day, not the Angels here in this spot. I'm only looking Red Sox in this game. And I want to take a look at where the bullpens are for these two teams. Maybe it's Red Sox. Maybe it's just Red Sox full games. Yeah, I think it's Red Sox full game here. Money line in this one to end the night. I don't like the travel spot back from Miami for this Angels team. I think this Angels record's a little bit looks a little nicer that they played the Marlins, and this Red Sox team I think is a better team than people think. So I'm going to go with the Red Sox here, -104 over on FanDuel to end this baseball card. So Boston Red Sox money line here for me, -104 to end it. Red Sox, there you go. Red Sox money line, I feel like I should have went -1.5. I can see a run line type of spot here in this one here. But with that being said, that is all the baseball games. Now let me switch over my stuff to the NHL. I do not want to click on soccer for this. I want to click on the NHL, and we will get into it there. And we will kick it off with 3 games here that definitely impact playoff races here in the NHL. We have the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings. The Rangers -135 road favorites in this game with a total of 6. Taking a look at the line history here, the Blue Shirts opened up as -138 favorites. It's now down to a 130. So we've had a line move towards the Detroit Red Wings in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at -112. It's a 6 at -118. So we've had a slight move towards the over here in this game as well. 88% of the tickets are on the Rangers, 30,443 tickets in. The line moving towards these Red Wings in this spot. Let me get up my projections for this game, which has I need to refresh my page because it's being stupid. Cool. And I did not put in. I did put in numbers for this one. I would need to put in numbers for my for that Capitals game from last night. Fair. I have this game. Should the Rangers be favorites? Yeah. I have them more along the lines of -130 favorites in this game. So I think this line's about right when it comes to the side. When it comes to the total, I would lean under the total. This could be decent playoff style hockey in this one here. And when we look at this matchup here, I kind of want to take a look. It's Jonathan Quick in net, by the way. It is Johnny Quick in net, which that's probably why the line has moved the way it has, is Johnny Quick in net. This is, not a huge game for the Rangers. They've got first place in the Metro basically locked up. This is a huge game for the Wings, where where we look if they win this game in regulation, their playoff odds go up to 14.5%. They lose, it goes down to around 32.8%. So this is a kind of a must-win game for the Wings. So you could see the desperation there more with the Detroit Red Wings than the New York Rangers. Rangers basically have got the Metro locked up and most likely will have the number 1 seed throughout the East. Now, Boston will probably have something to say about that. But with that being said, is this a game that I'm going to get involved with? The answer is no. And I not much graded out well for me in this on this hockey card. Now, could there be spots that I would like to attack? Yeah, and I think one of them will be in a couple games from now with a team coming in off of a bad loss versus a team that is kind of reeling right now. That I would expect maybe like a bounce back performance. But is this a game that I'm looking to get involved with? No, maybe we're getting a decent price because it's Johnny Quick in this game and not Igor. But is this a game I'm chomping at the bits to get involved with? No, I'll be watching this game as a Islanders future ticket holder for the playoffs. I'll be rooting for the Rangers in this game. But other than that, that is all the action I'll have in this game. It's just watching for futures stuff. Travel spots are so overused. Maybe. DeBrincat 2 points, Kane 2 points, plus 625. I could see it, but then Rangers money line. I'll bet you're going to give me some more Rangers stuff here. Yeah. Over 6.5. 6.5. I would lean under in this game. I think we could see more of a defensive-minded game with playoff-style hockey with these two teams. I would lean under because this is a game where would you be shocked if the Red Wings come out and focused on having the best possible defensive game plan? It would not surprise me to see this game go under the total. I believe these two teams have played decent under the totals as well. But yeah, I would lean under in this game here. Zibanejad 2 points, Roslovic 2 points, 8-1. There you go. Kreider 2 points and Fox 2 points, plus 450. You like these 2 point props, which I think are kind of interesting. Wish these scores would confirm Quick earlier. I got 60 minutes plus 110. Fair. I don't think Quick's an auto fade like a lot of people do. Over 6.5, I see a lot of goals. Fair. I think we get a lot of penalties in this game. Alex Line is an auto fade. He was great at the start of the season. Something in him died. Fair. He played a lot of hockey. That's why. Hope Rempe plays. Makes it more. Rempe's a terrible hockey player. He's just a fighter, which is, I don't know why people like to hype up Rempe because he's not that good. Well, let's get into this next matchup here. The Buffalo Sabers and the Philadelphia Flyers. We have the Sabers as minus 125 home favorites, total 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. As we have this line open up at a 125, it's down to a 121 for Buffalo. So we do have a slight move towards Philly in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 118. It's a 6 at minus 115 now. So a move towards the under here as well. 85% of the tickets are on the Flyers. Line moving slightly in that direction. 2,700 tickets in, and really no cash flow on the total in this game here. This is another game that doesn't grade out particularly well. And for this game, one thing that's kind of interesting in this spot, which actually has me leaning slightly towards the Flyers in this game, is the projected goaltender for this one here is Fedorov for the Philadelphia Flyers. Fedotov is confirmed for this game against Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in this spot here. And they have a lot of expectations for Fedorov. And maybe this is something to spark the Flyers trying to make a playoff push. If they win this game in regulation, it's up to around a 74.5% chance for the Flyers to make the playoffs. If they lose this game in regulation, that drops 16% to 44.6. They have about a 57% chance to be the third team in the Metro. They have about a 17% chance the second wild card spot if they win this game in regulation. That drops to 30% and 14% with a loss in reg. And the flip side here, the Sabers are kind of done. If they win this game in regulation, their odds will go up to 1.3%. If they lose this game in regulation, they are eliminated from postseason play. And it'll be another year of the drought. And the Sabers, yeah. So not a very important game for the Sabers. They're already done. But they've been playing a little bit of spoiler as of late. I would only look Philly in this game if I had to bet the side. I don't know what to expect from Fedorov. So this will be another pass for me in this game. I like Quick. Yeah, Quick is, yeah. Sabres money line, Tuck assist, Paterka 2 points. Tuck 2 points, TNT Thompson 2 points. There you go. I don't see an advantage here. Even they even both have 36 wins. It's just the Flyers play a lot more overtime games than them. The Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes minus 270 favorites in this game. Total of 6 in this spot. This is a game I kind of have a little bit of interest in here. I'm expecting Pyotr Kochetkov and Darcy Kemper in this game. It was Lindgren last night, and I believe it was Freddie Anderson last night for the Hurricanes in this spot here. Now, minus 270 is an awful lofty price here for the Carolina Hurricanes, but I think this is a good spot for them here. Granted, they are on a second half of back-to-back, but they played last night at home. Line opened up at a 260. It's down to a 255 on a bet online. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 115. It's down to a 6 at plus 107. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Capitals in this game here. And looking at this spot here, we are seeing about a 50-50 split here for the tickets for the money line, and that's about it. And we have a Carolina Hurricanes team coming in off of a game they probably deserved better fade in than a 4-1 loss against Boston. And you know that coming in off of, and they look rusty off of a 5-day break, these Carolina Hurricanes. Now they got some hockey underneath them. They're playing a team that's really reeling as of late. This Washington Capitals team, I think, is fade material at the moment. And I would like to find a way to bet against the Capitals here in this spot. I just don't know how. The last time these two teams played in DC, it was 7-6. I kind of think this could be a lower scoring game. 4 straight losses for the Washington Capitol, three of them in regulation. And all 3 of those regulation losses were by at least 3 goals. So they've been getting blown out in their games. And maybe this is just plain and simply Carolina puck line. Maybe this is just Carolina puck line and move on type of game. Carolina had their 2-game winning streak snapped with a 4-1 loss last night. Maybe instead of actually, I think I know how to approach this game. I think this is a first period full game double result in this game. Which the first period puck line, I think, is maybe kind of interesting here. First period minus a half. We're getting +1, anywhere between +120 to +130. That's kind of interesting there. Maybe a first period full game puck line type of double result here in this game. Could be a look. This is a tricky card because Carolina, I mean, they want to get right after last night's loss. Washington's been reeling as of late. I think this is Carolina puck line or nothing in this spot. Even though I don't see line value on it here, it's even money for the puck line. I would only look in that direction, but it's a pass. Maybe you tie up. I took the Kraken -1. Maybe you take Kraken Hurricanes as a 2-teamer to try to get some action on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes win this game. I think they win this game by margin. I just don't think there's line value on it, though. So it's a pass for me at the moment. Kemper and net, Canes -1.5. I could see that. Canes puck line, asking to get hurt. I think this is a good game for props, potentially. Svechnikov, 2 points. Gensel, 2 points. Kind of like that. Oh, Kuzi. Yes, Kuzi goal. Kuzi props. I think that's worth a look there. Kuznetsov, 2 points. Nature's 2 points, plus 1050. This is my new favorite one. That's really appealing. Gensel goal plus 140. I won't talk you off of Gensel. Aho goal. I won't talk you off of Aho either. I think this is a Carolina smash and grab spot. And I'm going to grab the puck line. I don't bet puck lines. I hate puck lines. They always find a way to burn me. But the Carolina, do I go for a score in this game potentially and try to take a -2 with the Hurricanes? Go for a score there. Or do I just go for the puck line? I don't know yet. I'll figure that out after the show. But it's Carolina or nothing for me. And this one's another interesting game where this is a situational spot more than it is an X's and O's spot. We have the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche -130 for the Oilers, total 6.5 in this game. Colorado on a second half of a back-to-back. It's going to be Alexander Georgiev tonight because it was Justus Annunen last night. Line opened up at a -125 for Edmonton. It's now a 131. Line opened up at a -130. It's down to a 125 for the over. So this has been a slight move towards the over or towards the under, and it's been a slight move towards the Oilers. 93% of the tickets and 78% of the cash on these Oilers in this spot. 67% of the tickets are on the under in this game. And taking a look at really taking a look at this game, I'm high on this Colorado team. They're coming in off of a 5-2 win against Minnesota last night, and now they have to travel to Edmonton. Edmonton coming off of an embarrassing 5-0 loss against the Dallas Stars. And I look for this Oilers team to show me something in this game to show up after that game. And we have the Avalanche. They got a nice win last night against a division rival. Could I see this as a tricky spot for the Avalanche? Absolutely. Because Minnesota to Edmonton's a decent travel too. It's not like this is Minnesota to Winnipeg. This is Minnesota to Edmonton, which is a much further travel. Now, it's not crazy travel, but it's still not fun to travel like that, especially this late in the season. The only thing is I don't particularly want to fade the Avalanche in this game. But with that being said, do I want to back the Oilers in this spot? I think the Oilers are worth a look. Bad spot for the Avalanche coming in off of a nice win in their last game. I'm interested in Edmonton and Edmonton only in this spot. -130 to fade the Avalanche is just not appealing to me. As much as I would love to do it, it's just not worth I don't think it's worth the risk reward. Maybe the play is the first period, and maybe that's the way I approach these two games. Is I take first period puck lines for both the Carolina Hurricanes and the Edmonton Oilers and move on. That's how I'm going to approach these. I'm going to take first period puck lines. I expect Edmonton to show up after last game. And I'm getting +150 for the first period puck line for Edmonton here. And I'm going to take the first period puck line in Carolina as well. That's how I'm going to approach these games. First period puck lines. And first period -0.5, +114 for Carolina. And then one of the it's on BetMGM and it's on DraftKings. That's how I'm going to approach these two games. Is I'm going to take first period puck lines with both these teams to bounce back after bad performances in their previous games. So Oilers first period puck line is going to make my card. I will bet those after the show. Let's see. Canes should be pissed. They absolutely should. Ovechkin goal, Strome goal, McMichael. Fair. MGM hanging. Canes -1.5. Even money out there. Yeah. McKinnon, Rantanen, Hyman, Draisaitl goal parlay +1,500. Good luck. Over 6.5. McCarr 2 points. Rantanen 2 points +359. Draw. Here. Draw last 5 meetings have been a draw. Cashed on the draw last time. Got +390 on FanDuel. That's why I'm just going to take the first period puck on. Draw and the under. I could see the under a little bit in this game as well. Move on. The only game I've actually had a bet heading into the show, the Seattle Kraken and the Anaheim Ducks. Kraken minus 165, minus 170 favorites. Line opened up at 165. It's still 165. Line opened up 5.5 minus 120. It's 5.5 minus 109. So a move towards the under and a move towards the no move on the side. 56% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the Kraken in this game here. And for me, this is pretty plain and simple, a line value thing for me. I have this game priced around 190 for the Kraken in this game. And the Ducks, this has been an opponent that the Seattle Kraken like to play. They have won 6 straight meetings against the Anaheim Ducks, and they've covered the puck line in 4 of those last 6 wins. Obviously, the -1 line, they would push those 2 there. Anaheim or Seattle coming in off of a 5-2 loss against the LA Kings. Anaheim coming off of a very satisfying win 5-3 over the Calgary Flames. These 2 teams just did play twice, back-to-back games on the 26th and the 24th in Seattle. This is the first game back after a road trip, though, for Anaheim. Granted, not a far travel because it was Seattle, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary. So not crazy travel during this road trip, but still you're on the road for 5 straight games. Not a game here. Not a game that I'm particularly interested in the Ducks here in this spot. And I took the Kraken -1 last night at -105. We've seen with the Kraken here that they beat bad teams pretty well. When you look at who they've played, their wins are against the Sharks, the Ducks. They've won 3 of the last 5 games, and they're against the Ducks and the Sharks. Like, those are the teams that they beat, and they get the Ducks here again. Ducks off of a long road trip. I'll take a shot at the Kraken -1 at -105 in this one. Is this game even on TV? Pass. Fair. Seattle puck line over, Ducks team total under. I can see that. Lean over 5.5. Click. There we go. Ducks burned me twice against the Kraken. I'm going to stay off at home here. Fair enough. DK in Michigan doesn't let me do the -1 line the day before. They usually wait till game. For me, I just put it into a -1 calculator, which I will put the -1 calculator in the chat that I use. This is what I use for -1s. Never mind. Went on DK, and they're only giving me -2.5 or 1.5, no -1. -1s are just, this is the -1 calculator. It's what I use to put in. You put in how much you want to bet, and you put in the money line, you put in the run line, and it'll tell you how much to bet and what the -1 line is. We'll move to the final matchup here, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Arizona Coyotes. The Golden Knights -170 favorites in this game, total of 6 in this spot. Earle, Vejmelka, and Logan Thompson projected goaltenders. I believe Vejmelka confirmed for this game. Line opened up at a 165. It's up to a 167 for Vegas. Line opened up at a 6 at -106. It's up to a 6 at -109. So a slight move towards the over here as well. We have 95% of the tickets are on the Golden Knights money line moving slightly towards them. And that's all the information I have for the market here in this spot. I think this line's about right. I have the Vegas Golden Knights around -170 favorites in this game. So this was not a game that I particularly saw too much value in betting wise. Slightly towards the over at this 6 number as well. So not too much interest in this spot here for me to end the card. So that's where we're going to. And that is the last game of the show. So I'm going to be locking in these 2 first period puck lines because I think those are the best approaches. So I'm going to get that +150 on BetMGM with Edmonton, and I'm going to head over to DraftKings to get the +114 for the Hurricanes here for first period puck lines. But that is, we'll head back to the chat here, and then I'll recap and head on out for this one. Let's see. Nope. I don't know what that is because the emoji doesn't pop up. Vegas -1.5. More players coming back, so players want to keep themselves in the lineup. They will play good. Yeah, I can definitely see that argument. I absolutely could. Edmonton or VGK, 60 minutes. There you go. Eichel 2 points. Barbashev 2 points. +725. There we go. But that is everything for today's card. Yeah, so let me lock in this one here. BetMGM plus 150, Oilers first period puck line. And so let me go over to DraftKings. I'll lock this in as well, so I have it when I recap my stuff. In the NBA, I'm on the Blazers plus 2.5 and plus 115 money line. I'm on the Rockets plus 2.5 and plus 122 money line. Memphis Grizzlies minus 112. And the Jazz at plus 12.5. In the MLB, the early card, over 8.5, Blue Jays and Yankees, doubling up on the Athletics' first 5 in full game against the Tigers, 2-1 and 2-1 on those. And the Cubbies plus 160 for the early games here. Keeping it going, over 12.5, minus 128, Rockies and Rays. I am on the first 5 under 4.5, Phillies and Nationals, as well as the Nationals first 5 plus a half. I'm on the Diamondbacks first 5 plus 220, full game plus 245. First 5 under 4.5, Royals and White Sox. I lean Brewers. I'm kind of tempted on the Brewers there. Then I end my card with the Boston Red Sox at minus 104. And then in the NHL, I'm locking in this first period puck line with the Carolina Hurricanes, first period minus a half, that is, plus 114. And then I'm going to be on the Oilers, first period minus a half at plus 150 in the for that game, looking at for those two good teams to bounce back after bad losses. And then Kraken minus 1 to end the night. And that'll be it for everything today. So that is the full recap. That's the full show for today. And that is going to do it for this one. Want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. We'll be back same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.